Yeah. Okay, so again, good morning. I'm not sure whether it's a good morning or bad morning. Anyway, so this is officially our last class, right? For this course and for this term for this course. So I will go through the final exam review today, and then so these are the topics before mid, right? So at first, like, just let me explain like whatever the topic it's included in the final exam. Okay, so nothing is excluded. So it's not like the midterm topics are excluded from the final. Okay, you have to go through them as well, like the arrays, 2D arrays, validation and text manipulation, the enums, hierarchies. Okay, but I would say after midterm, the topics you should give more emphasis on them. Okay, like the interfaces, file IO, exception handling, recursion, and the last thing is sorting and searching, right? So, any questions for the topics? Like if you have any kind of problem with any topics, we can also discuss. Okay, we have enough time. So regarding the topics, like if anyone is not clear about any topic, we can again discuss. Okay, or maybe after reviewing, we can also come to this slide to discuss any topic. Okay, clear. Let me open the chat box. What is that? Are you guys sending any messages in the chat box? Because I can't see the chat box anyway. Okay, so so about the final exam, right? So date, time, and place, right? So April 15th, like the scheduled date, right? So it will be happening April 15th for sure. The duration is 2 hours. Previously, I think it was 3 hours, right? So now it will be 2 hours. Okay. The time is 6 p.m., the original time. Okay. But you know that this is online things. If there is any technical difficulties, it may get delayed. But you should be get ready at 6 p.m. You shouldn't be delayed. Okay. And then maybe you know that during the exam there can be technical difficulties. Hopefully it will not. But suppose if it happens, so you shouldn't get any kind of other work until 9 p.m. though that duration is 6 p.m. Sorry, the duration is 2 hours. Okay, so so the during this like 6 to 9, so maybe it can delayed, or it's not like for everyone, it can happen for some of you, right? So it depends actually. So how many marks for the final? Still, it's not decided, but for sure it will be less than 100. Okay. So previously, what you had 3 hours and 100 marks, right? So now it's 2 hours because it's open book, right? I will come to this slide later. But the marks still we have not decided because the questions still we are kind of testing the things. So we'll see, or we'll let you know. Okay. So place is not in classroom, right? It's online. So what is this actually, like how we are going to do in online exam? So basically you are using the Nexus. Okay. So in Nexus, you can just, so we'll give detailed instruction like from where you need to go or how you can start your exam. Okay. So what are the important things like to participate in the online exam? for sure you need a laptop. You cannot do it in your mobile. Okay, because some of the platform they are not supporting, or some of the things related to Nexus they are not fully supported in mobile. So you need a laptop or desktop. Okay, I'll edit this. So another thing, most important thing, you should have the internet connection working, right? So suppose if you're living with your friends, so maybe you can just say your friends like, I have an exam in this time. Please don't download any heavy things or don't play game or watch movies. So that will consume more bandwidth, right? Or it may interrupt in your exam. So maybe you can just give warning if you are living with your friends in the same apartment or house. Okay. So what will happen? What may happen that your internet connection, it can have like interruption, right? Or suppose in the middle of your exam, there can be chance that your internet is no more working, right? But you have a cell phone, right? You have the data, I think so, right? So what you can do whenever you are having that kind of situation, just send me one email right away. Okay, I'll expect that. So if you have anyone have any kind of problem during the exam, it can happen that you cannot log in your Nexus, right? It can happen that you cannot access the question, right? It's just like possibility. It will never happen, but it's just possibility, right? It may happen that during the exam your internet connection interrupted and it's not working, right? So right away you should send an email by your cell phone data, right? That can be possible, right? Or if you have enough data, you can like also you can do like Wi-Fi share, like maybe you can enable that data using your laptop, but you know it will consume more data, so maybe it will not work like that. But you can email me for sure, right? You can just send me one email right away if you have any kind of problem. Okay, here, any questions so far?
I just have a question about the duration. I just want to be very clear. The exam is scheduled from 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. You're saying that the duration is 2 hours, but I just want to confirm that we are submitting our solutions for the exam at 9 p.m. and not, say, after 2 hours.
No. Actually, let me explain again these things. The duration is 2 hours. That means that whenever you will start, it will be 2 hours from their time. Suppose what happened, you may go to washroom, right? Or may you can just have your like a water bottle from your kitchen. You may get there, you may come back, but the thing is that the time you cannot pause. The time
Right,
is
I
running.
understand. So I'm just asking,
Yeah.
are we submitting at 8 p.m.? Are we submitting our solutions at 8 p.m. or are we submitting our solutions at 9
That's
p.m.?
why I am saying whenever you will click start, the time is start from there. I'm not sure like when you are
Okay,
starting. Okay.
okay, I
So
understand.
so the thing is that yes, so we cannot say that everyone should start at this time, because maybe everyone is not ready that time, right? Or I will give more information later about these on your Nexus or maybe on your email. Okay. Uh, how it will be, but for sure that the thing is that whenever you click, you will get 2 hours time from there. Okay, but you shouldn't delay. Like maybe I can allow just 30 minutes, like you know that uh, from up to 6:30 I can allow,
Okay,
right?
so just what my confusion is that our final exam has originally been scheduled for 3 hours. So what you're saying is that instead of the scheduled 3 hours,
Yeah,
we
it's
only
2 hours.
actually have 2 hours to
We
write the
have
exam.
2 hours now, but I will say like put some extra time, like don't have any other appointment. That means like if you're thinking that is 2 hours, right? So 6 plus 2 is 8. So on 8 like on 8 p.m. you are done. It can it it maybe the internet interrupted, right? Maybe there can be some technical difficulties. So don't you?
Okay, so then I just one question that I have is that in light of just sort of the difficulties that we're facing, don't you think it would be reasonable to allow us the same 3 hours that we would otherwise be allowed? I
So
don't understand why our exam is being cut short.
no, so the exam will not be cut short. It's something like it will not be happen for everyone, right? So whoever is having the difficulty, they will get the extra time, like or the proper like 2 hours of time, right? So it's just saying that that line, like this line, the line is saying that you shouldn't have any other appointment until 9 p.m. or more. It depends upon those student who has any kind of technical difficulties, not for
Okay, but the exam was originally scheduled for 3 hours, so why don't we just
uh,
still allow
the
students to
exam
submit
is
for those three
originally
hours?
scheduled to 3 hours, but it like deducted to 2 hours right now because it's open book exam. And the marks is also less than 100 now. So marks is reducing, you know.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So it's previously it was 100 marks and 3 hours, right? Since this is open book exam, right? So that's why you know that the question type is a little bit different and duration is less than 3 hours because it's open book and the marks is also reducing. That's why.
So do you mean like on Nexus, whenever we let's say push button start, it will set a timer on for 2 hours on
Yeah, but
Nexus?
if anything is interrupted, your time get paused.
Oh, okay.
If it is interrupted by the system, like interrupted by Nexus, then your time will be paused. But if you go to the washroom, you cannot pause. Like I will go to washroom, I'm pausing the exam. You cannot do that. Is it clear?
Okay, thank you.
So
Yes.
what is the setting for the exam? Is it multiple choice or are we
I
asked
will
to
come to the
write some
slide later.
codes?
We'll have slide for that. I will come to that slide later. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So any other questions so far? Okay. So now the final exam type says it's open book. Okay. So what do you mean by that? Anyone? Do you know what is open book exam? Like have any one of you
You can go to
appeared in
your
open book
notes.
exam before?
You can go to your notes. You can use textbook. You can find resources anywhere you can.
Yes, that's the thing. But the point is that is it easy then?
No, it is not. It's
Why?
time consuming and it's very difficult to find what you want. And that is the problem. That's why I hate open book.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So uh, it's time consuming if you go for the resources, right? But you can get your resources handy, right? You can take like maybe you in the class you already took the notes, right? Or maybe you can just make some notes prepared so that you don't need to search everywhere, right? Like you can just make the resources handy or something. The thing is that for the open book the questions are different. How? Previously if I say in closed book exam that how this sorting, like maybe I can say that give me an example of insertion sort or give me an example of quick sort, right? But for open book I cannot ask that kind of question anymore, right? Because it's very easy then, right? For if I just say give me an example, it will be very easy. So questions are kind of different, right? It's kind of problem solving question right now. Okay, so not like a straightforward question, right? Got my
So will
point?
it be like coding questions?
There will be coding question. I will come that part later. Okay, so managing time is a crucial part here. Okay, so if you think like I will not expect this, so maybe you have a WhatsApp group or some group. If you just chat there, send me this answer or like that, it will consume time. So you should never do that for the plagiarism issue. But if you, so whoever will do like that, they will not be get enough time to complete for every question, right? So that's
So
the bad thing of these online things and the open book things also. But
so what if like a student can't doesn't finish it within 2 hours? Then what happens with the test?
if the student cannot finish all the questions in 2 hours, what will happen?
Yes, like it will not be counted, right?
I am not getting your question, so can you just ask me again?
Like you're saying that whenever we push button start on Nexus,
Mhm.
so it will give us time limited up to 2 hours. What
Yes.
if within these 2 hours, student it's not on time and he doesn't finish, let's say, this test in 2 hours, time is out, what
Uh-huh.
will happen?
If you cannot finish, you need to submit. So there will be a warning that your time is over. You need to submit. Okay. Then there can be some grace period, maybe 5 minutes. Then you have to submit, or it will automatically saved and submitted something. If you need to click submit, then right. So it will just give you one warning, right? You are already over the exam time, so you need to submit. Just like that.
Oh, okay. So it anyways, like it will be accepted, right?
Uh, can you just again ask
I
me?
mean, it will be anyway, as I understood, it will be anyways accepted by you to check this test, even though it's not finished during those 2 hours. Like you will just check how many problems were accomplished.
Yeah. I can check everything. So
Oh, okay.
and whenever you click submit, you will get the notification like your exam is submitted like that. Like the
Oh,
confirmation
okay.
process is there. So it's not like after submitting you need to email me like I already submitted. Can you please check? You don't need to do that because there will be confirmation message. Whenever you click
Okay.
submit, there will be confirmation message on Nexus. You will see it. So don't be worried about that one, like whether your questions are like answer is submitted or not. And also it's kind of auto saving thing. So whenever you type something, it will save automatically there.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question?
How are we submitting our solutions? Are we handwriting them and taking pictures and uploading them?
Very good question. You are going to type there. So for multiple choice question, you can click, right? For short question, you can type. So it's kind of all the things uh, online, but we have kind of testing the thing, and for the coding question or the programming question, the if space provided sometimes is not enough, or maybe you are using some BlueJ or any other compiler, you copy and paste. Maybe the thing is that it's whatever you can see in BlueJ, you are not seeing in Nexus. So in those cases, there can be some option of uploading files. Like you can just take a picture, you can just upload that, or okay.
So
So it's
with
Yeah.
not
this
final yet. So
condition,
those kind of decision, I will let you know later. Like okay,
just
and
with this condition, what you're saying that it's a like there will be an option of uploading files or photos when you are setting duration up to 2 hours. Like, was this taken into consideration that there may be situation when people will take
uh,
pictures and
so
send because it will
yeah,
time
I got your
to
question.
take it and
Yeah, I got your question. The thing is that is still we are testing these things, and it still it's not final. So if you can manage something like your Nexus platform is enough to type the answer of your coding things, then we are good. We don't need those things, right? So I said like it's not. We are still testing these things like the area, okay, area of your answer for the programming part, that is crucial, right? So if you need more space, how it's going to behave in Nexus, right? So those kind of things, it's better if you can check regular email and Nexus notification. And also, you know that at the very first page of your exam, there will be instruction. So if you need those kind of things, it will be mentioned there.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to echo Inga's concern. As an example, for my calculus class, not only do we have the 3 hours that were originally scheduled, but they've actually extended it by an additional hour just to account for any hiccups that might come up, because in the same way that there's a lot of unknowns that professors are dealing with, and I understand that, as students are writing the test, and it's different for each test because we're expected to write tests differently and submit tests differently. Oftentimes students run into hiccups and other problems writing the exam, which is why I think it's really important while you guys are testing this to consider allowing at least the 3 hours that have already been scheduled to us, because you don't necessarily know that we aren't going to run into problems while we're trying to write the exam. And I just like sort of a bit of a if you guys could recognize that, it would appreciate it.
Yeah, I got your point. So for that, you know that if some student doesn't need any extra time, then it's okay, right? So that's why, like I said, it's 2 hours, right? But if you guys need, or if you guys have any kind of problem, that's why I said just send me one email regarding that, right? So I'm aware of that. You may need some little bit more extra time. I'm okay with that. So there is no problem providing you extra time if you have any kind of problem, or you know. So
Yeah,
maybe
I think just what I'm saying is that when it comes to writing exams, thinking to write an email or thinking to manage, you know, whatever kind of fire is going to come up while you're writing the exam, I think it's a bigger distraction than you might first think, and it would be very helpful if we were just given the 3 hours that were originally scheduled to us, so that we don't have any of those distractions, and we know that we have a better opportunity to finish the test in good time, instead of having to distract ourselves with writing emails while we're
yeah,
trying to also complete the exam. Do you understand how that's a
I
bit?
got your point. So maybe I will put like the grace time, maybe 15 minutes, right? So or maybe larger. I have to talk with also Janet for that, because
Okay.
yeah, so yeah, I got your point. So maybe for sure you need some extra time. But the thing is that if your online platform is only thing you need, right? So you shouldn't need any extra time, right?
But it's not, but what you're saying is that it's not just the online platform. Like, we might be uploading pictures and there
Yeah,
might
but
be other elements to it.
yeah, but
And that all adds to the time commitment that we're
uh,
expected to
yeah,
work.
yeah, I know that. So that is why I'm saying. So if those things happen, it will not be same like the things we're discussing now. So those things is still not finalized, right? So if did that happen, so maybe I will just extend up to 2.5 hours or even 3 hours. We will think about that.
Okay, I would appreciate that. And just
Yeah,
because things are coming up pretty quickly, and I think a lot of us are extremely busy, instructors included, do you have sort of a rough timeline as to when we can expect, like, just final details for the final exam?
uh, it's tough to say. So whenever we are okay, we'll post it. Like whenever we got the result, or whenever like we're coming to a final decision, you will get one email. So checking email is most important thing.
Okay, but do you
Also,
think that, like, before the end of next week is a reasonable timeline, just so that we have we're able to best prepare
hopefully
for
yes,
it? Okay.
hopefully end of next week. Yes.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yeah, any more question? Okay, so let's move forward. I can see the chat box now, so if you have any question you can also ask me in chat box. Okay, so this is the most important task for final exam, like I already discussed. Actually, you need to regular check your UFW email. Okay, so the second point is sorry for the typo, I will update it. You have to check also your Nexus notification. Okay. So either way, so I think the notification also goes to your, no, not notification. If there is any announcement, you can get by your email also, right? Is it right? So whenever I post any announcement, you also get by it's also you are getting by email, right? Or is it only Nexus?
Like if you post it on Nexus,
Yeah, so very last announcement I post in your Nexus, that is the assignment number 4 is up, right? So is it like you are only getting it in Nexus or also you are getting it by email?
I mean by webmail we don't get it.
Okay, so that's why I'm saying, so check both. You can just go to Nexus, go to the course home page, all the announcement will be there, right? So you should check that. Also, you should check your email. Okay. I think Sarah said I think you have to set it up on Nexus to get emails. Anyway, so better to check your email and your Nexus. Okay, like particular course page where it if you just click the home, you know that course home, you will have all the announcement one by one there. Okay, so the very latest one will be on the top. Okay, here. So what is the reason? This is online exam, right? So some testing is still going on. So it's still not finalized. So you will get update about that on your email or Nexus, right? So there can be changes until the exam it can happen. So that's why you have to be updated, right? Okay. Maybe some more details about the exam things. So this is the reasons like you should regularly check your email and Nexus course homepage. Okay, I'll update this second bullet point. Any questions so far? Okay, so now what will be the type of the question, right? So it's kind of more challenging than a regular closed book exam for sure, because your resources are open. You can access any of your resources, right? Okay, so like I said before, so if for a closed book exam, if I say, uh, give me an example of this or that, I cannot just say like that kind of question, right? Because it's very easy then, right? Okay, so questions where like you need to think, you have the resources, but to answer the question you just need to think, and your basic should be clear, right? And then you can answer the question. Okay, so what kind of question type? There can be multiple choice question. Okay, there can be like short answer question or written theory question, but it will be less in portion since this is the open book exam, right? And there can be like 4 to 5 coding questions. Okay, more related to the problem solving. Okay, I will not say uh, write the code how you can open a binary file or read a binary file or write a binary file, right? Because those are very easy, right? So so maybe from file IO, so it depends. So there is nothing challenging question I think from file IO, maybe, right? So you have to think. Okay, so any question? Why you are
Uh,
laughing?
this is a little bit complicated.
Yeah, it's since this is open book exam, right?
So how many questions in total will there be?
How many questions in total? Suppose maybe for multiple choice question 10 question, maybe short answer 5 question, and then you have or maybe less than 5 question for short answer, and then you may have 4 or 5 coding question. So
Sorry
the
for
coding question will
multiple
not be
questions.
very,
How many did you say about multiple?
it's maybe 5 or 10 depending upon the short question. If there is no short question, then it will be 10. If there are some short, so in total you can say that multiple choice and short question not more than 10 or something.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, since you have the coding question to work on, right? Okay, yeah, so it's better to have the multiple choice question rather than the short answer, right? Because this
So
is
there will be no like long answer questions, just short ones.
can you repeat?
So there will be no like long answer questions, right?
Long question, what do you mean by that? We have the coding question, that is the kind of long question. Like in your midterm, there
No,
was
it
no
says
long
like
question, right? There was short question, so that's the kind of short question, right?
okay.
You get it?
Mm-hmm,
Okay,
mm-hmm.
any other question? Okay,
What I want to say is, you guys please could just do it in a way it will favor everyone, and not that you guys will go get data structure and algorithm questions and give us to solve. Then
no,
even
for
5 hours will not be enough to solve it.
yeah, we got these things, right? So this is a new thing, this is an open book, so we got this thing. So it's just like there will not be kind of things whether you can just copy from your slide and just paste it. It will just not like be that, right? You
That's
understand what I want to say?
I understand what you mean,
Yeah.
but I just wish that it won't be like going out of any other area, getting some problems like telling us to
No,
code
no, I know
database,
that. I know
bank
that
database
this is
with
an exam, right? And
certain and certain.
there
That
is a
will be
limited time,
cumbersome.
like 2 hours. So we know that those things. So this is an exam. This is even an online exam. There is a time limit. So we know those things. So will not like ask you those kind of question like where you need to think like in like for 15 minutes you need to at first think to solve the question, not like that. Okay,
Okay.
any other question?
No.
Okay, so maybe we can back to this question, like do you have any other question regarding our topics we can discuss? We're kind of like end of
So I wanted to ask, like,
sorry.
whenever you pose this exam, on which tab can we find it? Like assessments and quizzes, or where?
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
assessment and quizzes. So quiz is that part like we're going to use for this online exam. Okay.
okay, thank you.
So any other questions so far? It can be regarding your assignment. It can be regarding your topics, anything. It can be regarding final exam. Are you all okay?
We are fine.
Okay. So I really enjoyed like having you guys like teaching this course in University of Winnipeg. Not like online things, like in class things. Yeah, so I hope like you guys are also doing okay. The thing is that we don't have any online evaluation, like online evaluation and also like the paper-based evaluation because our classes ended. But anyway, you can have the online platform to review me as well if you want or give feedback so that it will be helpful for myself for next time. So yeah, so do you have any other concern or any other thing before we end today's class? I still have the office hour today until 1:30. So if you guys have any question, anything, you can email me if you want. We can like meet on Zoom even if you want. Okay. And before the final exam, also I will have the office hour. So if you guys have any kind of question, you can just email me. I can be available on Zoom even if you need any help regarding anything. Okay. So any more question or any concern, any suggestion? Okay.
Nothing more, just that we don't want to see you in 1904 again. If we are gonna meet again, let's meet in another level.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
For
We don't,
sure. So
though
for
we
that,
love you,
also I
though
need
we
your
love
help.
you
Like,
so much,
yeah,
love
I
you
need
so
also.
much, we like you, but we don't want to meet you in 1904 again. We
Yeah,
want to meet you maybe in another
yeah,
level, but in 1904,
yeah.
no, we don't
That's
want.
what I also want. Like, I don't want to meet you with in the same course, right? So for that, I also need your help. Like, you have to do well in your final exam, right? Yeah, you
We
have
will
to
do
give
our
your,
best.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, that's a good thing. Okay, then stay safe, everyone. It's very important. You shouldn't go outside even because you never know if someone have the positive and just like sneeze or something, that virus can be inside the air and you are just passing on that area, it can be touch on your body and you will get infected. So you never know. So for now, it's because the virus is now community spreading things, right? It's not for travel. Like the last 24 cases is for community spreading. So you have to be very careful. If you don't need to go outside, don't go outside. Okay, stay safe, everyone. Bye.